Well, just an update on one of the Edmonton Oilers who was hurt in warm-up. It was a Nail Yakupov shot, and Boyd Gordon, 27, kind of had to blow up the footage because it was hard to see, but you kind of can see him react. And here he goes across, kind of feels his forehead, and then eventually will take his helmet off, goes to the bench, and at first it looks like he might be able to stay and continue through warm-up, but he had to leave. But the good news, Louis and Kevin, he is back and will play this evening.
All right, Gene, thanks very much. Let's take a look at the starting goaltenders, brought to you as always by Tim Hortons, the official copy of the NHL. Ilya Bryzgalov made 31 saves in the loss to Anaheim Sunday. Second time he's made over 30 saves in a game. He goes after career win number 15 against Los Angeles. And this season, 23-year-old Martin Jones did something in the minors he hasn't done in the NHL. Lose a game. A perfect 5-0, the NHL's second star of the week. He is between the pipes and we are set to go. The second of 4 meetings between these two teams. Remember, back October 27th here in Los Angeles, the Kings won that game in a shootout 2-1, and Richard Bachman was the star of that game, Louis. He made 47 saves.
Yeah, an incredible night for him, and a good effort by Edmonton to stick in that game, facing 48 shots to 18. So want a better effort tonight in that shot differential for sure for Edmonton.
And just like the game in Anaheim, the big line for the LA Kings goes against the big line for the Edmonton Oilers. Here is Taylor Hall moving in. Hall with a shot. And Jones juggles, but then makes the save. The first time that Jones faces the Edmonton Oilers in his career.
North Vancouver native Martin Jones has done real well here, stepping in 5-0 in his National Hockey League career with the Los Angeles Kings. And Taylor Hall with speed. Nice little follow-up on a bouncing puck to drive it through. Doesn't really get a good shot away as it bounces over his stick. But I like the fact that everyone's funneling towards the net, and for the Edmonton Oilers tonight, that'll be the game plan. Speed, quickness, and puck possession, the key.
Yakupov, Perron, and Gagne out there now. It is the Schultz and Schultz combo on the blue line as Williams throws it towards net. There's Bryzgalov to make a stick save and send it up into the netting. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by the 2013 Ford Super Duty. It's built Ford tough.
Well, for the Edmonton Oilers, we just talked about it, Kevin. It's a little bit of David and Goliath here for them in this game against a big LA team, a very good team, and they'll have to beat them with smart, speed, guts, and a good shot from time to time, get a lot of pucks to the net. And for the Los Angeles Kings, it's ground and pound. That's their game plan. Simplify it, play a structured game, get pucks in behind the defense of Edmonton, and ground and pound off the site.
Hey, it worked for David. He had a good shot.
He did. Very good shot. Accurate.
Ryan Smith out there with Ales Hemsky and Boyd Gordon. So good to see Boyd Gordon back in the lineup. And good to see Ales Hemsky back, who missed the game in Anaheim because of the rib injury suffered in Vancouver. Took a shot from Ryan Kessler, a big hit, and knocked him out. Now, he didn't want to come out of the game. They thought it would be a good idea if he took one game off, but he's back right now.
One of the underrated parts of Ales Hemsky's game that people don't maybe give him enough respect for is the fact he does take shots. He does take hits to make a play, and he's never been afraid to. And he took a real good shot from Ryan Kessler, called it a clean, good hit, and wanted to play, but they felt it was just better for him to be 100% and pulled him out for a game.
Starting lineup brought to you by Boston Pizza, your hockey headquarters destination. And we talked about the big lineup changes in terms of the guy out there right now. Anton Belloff back in the lineup. Corey Potter suspended for 2 games. Here's Matt Green with a shot, and he whistled that one wide. Matt Green back in the lineup for the LA Kings. He got back in the game against Chicago. On Sunday, the Kings lost 3-1 and gave up 3 first-period goals, Louis, and that's significant. They hadn't done that in the previous 18 games, an NHL record.
Yeah, pretty remarkable when you look at that. 18 straight games without giving up a first-period goal, and that just goes to show you how disciplined this Los Angeles team is under Daryl Sutter and how they come out in hockey games and play that sound defensive game. Just an impeccable record, and obviously the Chicago Blackhawks, a pretty darn good team in their own right, found a way to break through not once but 3 times in the first period.
And they got one of each in that game, a shorthanded goal, an even strength goal, and a power play goal, and that was all they needed. The Kings, though, had won the previous 6 games. They are second in the Pacific Division, 10-4-2 here at Staples Center. Nolan tied up against the boards by Luke Gazdic as the fourth line's getting an opportunity. Lyndon Bay did not play the last time these teams met. He was wearing number 57. A great story of a depth of the organization. Spent time in Manchester. In fact, last year, He was 5th in the American Hockey League in points. He comes up here to Los Angeles and now plays on the 4th line in the middle. And Lou, you had a good chat with Lyndon Bay, getting his opportunity, and the depth of this organization is being shown. Kopitar lays it back to Robin Regehr. Robin Regehr and Ales Hemsky, of course, have come together several times in the Battle of Alberta. There's Carter with Kopitar and King back to the point. Drew Doughty fakes the shot. Doughty pushes it ahead to King. King from the corner. Snaps it out in front, and Eberle is there on the intercept. Jordan Eberle to Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall across the blue line. Nice drop pass. Here is Eberle, and a good defensive play there by Kopitar. Quickly back the other way. It is Jeff Carter moving in with a wrist shot. Blocked by Philip Larson. Eberle starts back for the Oilers. Eberle. Spin move against Doughty. Looks for Hall. And it's cleared away by Jared Stoll. Good start to this game. Brown spins down Arcabello. Brown, one of the biggest hitters in the league. In fact, he is 2nd in the league in hits coming into this run. Has the puck right now. Dustin Brown, the captain of the LA Kings. To the middle it goes. Stoll back to the point. Here's Green, fires a shot, and that one deflects just wide. 2 ex-Edmonton Oilers combine on that play. Ales Hemsky across the blue line. Ales Hemsky with a wrist shot. Jones makes the save, and he'll hang on. Both teams with a good pace to start this hockey game. 15:21 to go in the first.
It has been. We just talked about Ales Hemsky, and here he has full possession of this puck, looking to throw this puck wide, and it gets picked off. So a little defensive mishap by Hemsky leads to this chance here. Nice little back pass by Stoll. Look at the bodies in front as Williams battles along with Beloff, trying to screen the goaltender. So with the Los Angeles Kings, this is the way they like to play, Kevin. You make a mistake, you turn the puck over, they're going to turn it around and generate a high-quality chance. Hemsky redeemed himself on the next chance, goes down and gets a shot on net himself, but have to be much better in the defensive zone against the Kings.
2 shots each so far. Perron, Yakupov, Gagne out there now as the puck comes free. Richards, his pass almost intercepted by Yakupov, and he goes hard against Trevor Lewis. Richards content just to dump it in the opposite corner. Andrew Ferris, he is paired with Jeff Petrie. Petrie comes in and helps out. Avoids a hit. Yakupov, great little kick pass to Gagne. Sam Gagne across the blue line. Gagne to Perron. David Perron takes a look, fires a shot from a sharp angle. We have seen that before. David Perron, believe it or not, did not get a shot in that game against the Anaheim Ducks.
Unlikely for him, but there you saw him take that wide-angle shot. It does 2 things. Number 1, you might catch a goaltender sleeping. For Martin Jones, he's never seen David Perron, how he shoots the puck, so you might slip one by him early, and also it might generate an opportunity for a rebound dropping down in front of him. You could tell he had a little bit of trouble with that sharp angle shot and what to do with it.
Green, another shot. 151 games. Here's an opportunity for Fredman. What a glove save by Ilya Bryzgalov.
Boy, good chance there by Fradden, who had a real strong game the last time these two teams met. And Gazdic and Nolan maybe trying to renew acquaintances for the 2nd time this year. They scrapped the last game as well, too. Here's this little transition. Nice little play by Yakupov to kick it to Gagne. And he gives it to Perron. He knows he doesn't have a pass, so what does he do? He throws it to the net. And you can see a kind of reaction of Jones was, what the heck, how did that one hit me? And then this one here, great job to get a puck through, and Fratton jumps on the rebound. And for Ilya Bryzgalov, stands his ground and makes the save.
Matt Fratton did not play the last 4 games for the LA Kings. Gets himself in the lineup at the expense. Kyle Clifford is out. He is the change for Daryl Sutter. Fratton in. Another ex-Oiler, Colin Fraser, suffered a concussion in the game against the Toronto Maple Leafs. He is out. Daniel Carcillo also is not in the lineup. Alec Martinez swings it along the boards, trying to get it to Nolan, kept in there briefly by Larson, and Larson will get the puck back. Larson and Beloff paired together. This is Boyd Gordon playing it for Ryan Smith, who played a couple of years in Los Angeles, had some good years too, 55 games. 2 years, he scored 20 goals in each of those 2 years here.
He really enjoyed his time here, Kevin. You know, and we talked a little bit jokingly about the traffic here in LA, and he said it wasn't too bad.
Doughty with a shot through traffic, and that one goes wide. Muzzin pinching in against Eberle. Petrie trying to help out. Takes a bump there from King. It's back to the point. Doughty able to keep it in. Dwight King. Anze Kopitar. Kopitar on the far side. Kopitar trying to get by Ference. Anze Kopitar one-handed the puck. Now he plays it to King with a shot, and that doesn't get through. Back to Doughty at the point. The Kings with all kinds of pressure now. King with it. He'll give it to Kopitar. Back to the point. Jake Muzzin fires a shot, and that one goes wide. Doughty waiting for it on the near side. He'll get it to Carter now to Kopitar. Kopitar behind the net. He knocked down a Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. They're coming back in. Doughty with it now. Doughty with a wrist shot through time, through traffic. Bryzgalov looks for the rebound, finds it, covers up, with Jarrett Stoll right on the doorstep. The Kings with 7 shots. No score. Bryzgalov standing his ground.
Well, Louis and Kevin were talking about Ryan Smith and his time spent with the LA Kings, and it brings to mind a movie from 1966, a spaghetti western, Good, Bad, and the Ugly, and it starred Clint Eastwood. And the reason it does, when Ryan Smith was here, he was on a line alongside Anze Kopitar and Justin Williams. Now, Kopitar was considered the good, Williams was considered the bad, and Ryan Smith was considered the ugly. Now, hold on a sec. That's because hold on. It's because he always does the ugly work, okay? Hey, wait a mullet. I'm not talking about his looks.
Hey, his face is looking like a road map, too. All those scars, I'll tell you. Got to go to the tough areas to score. And he's never shied away from that, that's for sure.
Absolutely. 49 points in his career against the LA Kings. This is his 56th game. Williams tried to center it, didn't make it through. Dustin Williams hangs on to it. Now he'll go cross ice. Moving in, Voinov shot, and that one goes up high and misses the target. Williams watched it to Hemsky. Ales Hemsky's got Smith up the middle. They crisscross at the blue line. Ales Hemsky with a wrist shot. Smith with a rebound that goes wide as Regeer got his stick in the way. Now that's something that happened a few times in the Battle of Alberta. We talked about Hemsky and Regeer. How about Smith and Regeer?
Yeah, I like that shot from Hemsky there on the rush. Instead of trying to force that pass wide to Ryan Smith that's driving, he gets it low and hard. A big juicy rebound pops out to Smith, who has a chance on it.
Richards with Lewis. Here's Lewis. His shot, and Bryzgalov took that one up high, and it deflects up into the netting.
Well, that was a good chance by Lewis, too, and the LA Kings starting to find ways to really slip into that slot area. Here's the rush here as Hemsky takes the puck. He wants to give it to Ryan Smith here, but he doesn't. A little bit of a gap opening up here as the defense back in a little too far. Hemsky takes advantage of that and gets that shot through in a juicy rebound. Here's that last opportunity off the shoulder of Bryzgalov by Trevor Lewis, who's playing the wing tonight on the third line instead of his normal center position. Good opportunity there.
We talked about the depth of the LA Kings, and they ask you to play goalie, he'd probably play.
Yeah, you know, for Trevor Lewis, he was saying this morning, you know, it's not that difficult for him being a natural centerman to move over to the wing and jump around to left, right. Doesn't really matter to him. And always good to have that depth on your lines for faceoffs as well.
Jonathan Quick remains out with that groin injury. He was hurt on November the 12th. Ben Scrivens and this guy, Martin Jones, have done an adequate job filling in. Ben Scrivens, number 1 in the lead in save percentage at .941. Nugent-Hopkins across the line. Nugent-Hopkins against Doughty. Lost an edge, goes down. The puck's still alive. Hall kicks it back to the point. Justin Schultz able to keep it in for Hopkins. Just past him. Jake Muzzin on the far side plays it around the board. Schultz trying to keep it in. Hall does. Throws it towards the net. It was blocked by Carter. But Hall got it away. Now gave it away to King. King gets surrounded by white shirts as Justin Schultz takes the bump from Dwight King. King, 6'4", 230 pounds, almost found himself alone with the puck in front of Ilya Bryzgalov. Eberle to Hall off the end of his stick. Nolan lost the battle for the puck to Hall at the end of the shift. Regeer brings it back in. 9 minutes, 50 seconds to go in the first period. 8 shots for the Kings, 4 for the Oilers. Luke Gazdic chips and chases. He's got Jones with him. Fratton to the middle it goes. Here's Vang to Nolan off the boards. Race for it. Larson's got the angle. A smaller man gets the puck away. Back to the point. Martinez over to Green. Green with a wrist shot. That one missed. Now to the near side. Here's Ryan Jones. Jones picks it up, plays it to the middle to Luke Gazdic. Gazdic backhands it in. Luke Gazdic, number 2 among rookies in penalty minutes with 69. Andrew Ferens has to wait, and he'll fire that puck in as the fourth line gets a change and right back at it. Louis, the top line.
Yeah, a little quick double shift here by Dallas Eakins, trying to get a matchup that he likes right now. The big line for LA doing a good job against the Hall, Nugent Hopkins and Everly line, so he's trying to get him out there quick again and get some different bodies on the ice.
Andrew Ferens to Everly. The pass too high. Jake Muzzin picks it up to Drew Doughty. Doughty up the middle to Williams. The pass blocked off by Everly. Everly with a chance now. And a penalty coming up. And it's going to be interference against Jake Muzzin. So when we come back, the Oilers have the first power play of this game.
Well, Jake Muzzin in the penalty box, and the Edmonton Oilers, as a result, on the power play. The LA Kings on November 12th were taking on the Buffalo Sabres, and after that game, Jordan Nolan stuck around Buffalo because the next day he was there as his dad was hired for a second time along with his brother and mom. His dad taking over the Buffalo Sabres. The first time around, Ted Nolan was the coach for only 2 seasons, but one of those seasons, he was the coach of the year. Jordan and Ted will not meet this year because the Sabres and Kings series is over, but he hopes that his dad is able to shake the interim label and that he gets the Sabres rocking and Nolan.
Good stuff.
The Oilers were 1 for 4 the last time these teams met. They go to work for the first time in this one, as that puck goes out of play. 0 for 2 in the game against Anaheim. Penalty killing for the Los Angeles Kings has been very good overall. Ladies ranked 5th in the league, but it drops down to 16 at home. The Oilers will try and take advantage of that with a power play that is ranked 13th in the league so far. Justin Schultz goes back to pick it up. He is the only defenseman on this power play that includes Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Taylor Hall, Jordan Everly, and David Perron. Perron with 6 power play goals in the season. Gives it to Everly. Everly given a rough ride there by Drew Doughty. Nugent-Hopkins being watched by Lewis. Hall with it now. Hall back to Everly. Everly try to get it back to the point, but there was Richards to break it up. And the Kings change up their penalty killers. The Oilers with 1 power play goal in their last 5 games. Hall, little trouble with it. King tries to get it out, can't do it. Perron trying to take advantage with a wrist shot that gets deflected wide. Martinez got in the way. Alec Martinez. Matt Green, and he will send it out to center. And Justin Schultz will pick it up. 55 seconds left to go. And the penalty to Jake Muzzin. Everly to Yakupov, fires it around the boards. Yakupov with 4 power play goals on the year. Ales Hemsky on the near side gives it back to Larson at the point. He'll play it behind the cage. Everly waiting for it there. Jordan Everly. David Perron. It gets by him, but Hemsky's got it. He'll play it back to the point to Larson. Larson to Hemsky. Here's Hemsky to Yakupov. Wrist shot, and that's blocked by Stoll, and that hurt Jared Stoll. Hemsky with it again. Here's Hemsky. He'll go cross ice. Everly takes a look. Everly tries to feed it out in front. Broken up, but Larson is there to keep it in for the Oilers. 15 seconds of power play time remaining. Hemsky, Larson, he fires it through traffic. Rebound in front, picked up by King. He can't get it out. Dead tired of the penalty killers for the Oilers, but the penalty is almost over. Larson now to Hemsky, walks in. Here's Ales Hemsky with a shot. That gets blocked, and Stoll sends it down the ice. 1 shot for the Oilers as Jake Muzzin is back on the ice.
Well, the Kings kind of get away with one there. They had Stoll that was hurt on that first shot attempt that was through that hit him low and really didn't move a whole lot in the rest of that penalty kill, Kevin. And Edmonton wasn't able to capitalize, find that seam, and get that high-quality chance. Credit the other defenders for LA for blocking a lot of shots.
Nolan across the blue line against Ferens. Ferens takes him hard down to the ice. Regehr back into his own zone. Robin Regehr. Kopitar. Nolan. Jordan Nolan. His pass intercepted nicely there by Jeff Petrie, intended for Carter. Muzzin not able to keep it in. The teams want to make changes, so Jeff Petrie's just going to take his time. He played almost 25 minutes in that game against Anaheim. Hall, Everly combining. Hall couldn't get the shot away. Doughty had him tied up. Back the other way comes Justin Williams. Williams moving in. Williams fakes. Couldn't get a good shot away. Has it again out in front, and it hopped over the stick of the captain. And old Brown wanted that one.
Yeah, he was wide open too. Nobody took him coming back into the high slot. All three LA Kings on the attack in behind the net. So it was three caught deep, but Brown sees and recognizes a chance, and it just pops over a stick. Or else it would have been a fantastic chance in the slot.
Austin Brown with 6 goals on the season, but no points in his last 4 games. Sam Gagner with some speed across the blue line. Here comes Sam Gagner with a shot. That gets blocked by Alec Martinez. Yakupov with it now. Yakupov against Green. Yakupov to Perron. Looking in front for Gagner, tied up by Martinez. There's Larson down low. Larson behind the net for Yakupov. Swings it out in front. Gagner couldn't get a shot away. Larson still down low. Now he's got the puck to Gagner. Gagner to Perron. Yakupov headed to the front of the cage. Perron spins against Green. Here is Gagner. Gagner right out in front it comes. Larson trying to poke it in. And the LA Kings relieve the pressure, but another good shift for the Oilers.
You know, Kevin, a good shift and some opportunities around the net, but just those behind-the-back passes that don't get through when you have an opportunity just to throw it into the feet of the goaltender with a presence in front. You know, for the Los Angeles Kings, that's what they want you to do. They're trying to force you to make those almost impossible passes, pick it off, and go the other way. So an opportunity a few times there for Edmonton just to get it to the net. They don't, and they don't generate a chance.
On snow and ice, you don't want all-season tires. You want all-weather tires. Get Nokian's most advanced all-weather tire, the WRG3 at Cal Tire.
Now Jared Stoll paying the price, Louis, on the penalty kill.
And this is what you have to do if you want to have a solid penalty kill and prevent pucks from going. This one hits him in a pretty sensitive spot. And he felt that one there. Didn't move a whole lot after that, Kevin, and rightfully so. But Edmonton couldn't capitalize after finding a few chances to get a puck to the net. They don't, and a good penalty kill for LA.
Generating just one shot, as I mentioned. Doughty and Muzzin on the point. King to Kopitar. Carter in front. Here is Doughty down low. Feeds it out in front. Nobody there. Good job by Larson. Kopitar to Carter. One-timer, and that one whistles wide on the glove side. Doughty picks it up. Now Doughty goes right down the middle. Here's Doughty. Slides it to the side of the net. Wait! And a goal by King. Set up by Drew Doughty. The LA Kings take a 1-0 lead.
And this was just building on this shift, Kevin. Just excellent chances. And we talk about shooting the puck. Watch how the Los Angeles Kings just move this thing around. They fire pucks to the net. They get the puck back. They drive it down low. Eventually, you're going to break down chasing. It's exactly what Edmonton does. And it's Anze Kopitar with a lot of patience here. After this move by Doughty to walk it off the wall, he finds him back door. A little hesitation, tucks underneath. Ilya Bryzgalov for a 1-0 lead. So the man who's led this team the last 6 years in scoring gets them on the board first and gives them a 1-0. You saw it was King. I thought it was Kopitar. He looked like Kopitar there. So a good job by Dwight King, who's been elevated on that top line with a big goal.
He ties his career high in goals. He's got 9 this season.
Los Angeles goal.
Doughty and Carter get the helpers at 16:38. And Louis, you talked about it. The pressure being put on by the Kings. It was a matter of time on that sequence.
Number 77, Jeff Carter.
Brown tries to poke it by Ferentz. He did get it by him, but Petrie was there. Kempsky, the puck gets by him. Jake Muzzin gives it to Toffoli. He was checked by Nugent Hopkins. Richards. Tyler Toffoli. Toffoli to the middle. Drop pass for Richards. Steps into a slap shot. Flutters towards the net. Bryzgalov had to be sharp. Everly back the other way. Nugent Hopkins across the blue line. Nugent Hopkins to Hall. Toffoli back. And he got his stick on it.
That was a great stick by Toffoli coming back. That would have been an excellent chance for Hall driving to the net.
Hall centering pass is picked off by Trevor Lewis.
Another hope pass out into the slot that gets picked off and back the other way for LA. Edmonton Oilers right now, Kevin, playing into the hands of Los Angeles, and it's a tough team to beat down low. They want you to force those passes, and so far Edmonton has.
Here is Jones, drop pass for Perron. Perron with a shot, and it's kicked out there by Martin Jones. Perron being watched by Alex Martinez. Perron can't get loose, gets knocked down, play continues. Matt Fradden stops inside the blue line. Throws it towards the net, off of Belov. It came right to Jordan Nolan. Nolan checked by Larson. Belov buys the handle Fradden, who plays it back to Regeer at the point. His shot goes wide. And it deflects up into the netting. Rogers Oilers hockey from the Staples Center here in Los Angeles. 1-0 the score.
Time to play Safeway's $1 million score and win. If any Oilers player scores 5 goals in tonight's game, David King of Fort Saskatchewan could win $1 million. Shop and swipe at Safeway, and you could be our next lucky winner right here on Sportsnet.
This is a replica of the remote that inspired the big win. The original was tragically lost in a couch.
Pick your winners today with Pools.
1:16 to go in this first period. Ilya Bryzgalov has faced 12 shots so far from the LA Kings. The Oilers have responded with 7. Smith and Hemsky out there with Boyd Gordon. And Gene talked about the little mishap with Boyd Gordon at the beginning of the game. The second time a Edmonton Oiler has been injured in pregame. Remember Columbus, Louis, you and I were there when Taylor Hall was cut.
Yeah, that was a vicious cut by Taylor Hall. But this one here was just a fluky one off the bar. And I believe it was Neil Yakupov that shot it for Gordon, and battling injuries this year, just gets back in the lineup. So good to see him not have to be taken out of the game after being injured in the warm-up. A little nick above the left eye there you saw. But he's a tough customer. No worse for wear, and he's going to stay in this game.
Less than a minute to go in the period. Interception. Kopitar shot, and he whistled it wide. Kopitar again throws it towards the net. And this time, Bryzgalov made the save. Louis, I think that falls into the category of egregious giveaway.
That's Pizza 73 right up the middle.
Oh, man. Or in our case, a Boston Pizza.
Yeah, Boston Pizza, right up the middle. The Royale.
30 seconds left to go in the period. Anze Kopitar, you don't want to give the puck away to him. He leads this team in goals. He's got 11 along with Justin Williams. Muzzin throws it in. Bryzgalov stops it behind the net. Time winding down. 10 seconds left to go as Robin Regeer picks it up in his own zone. Quick glance at the clock. Voynov to Williams. Williams wasn't aware of it. And the first period comes to an end. And the LA Kings have a 1-0 lead. Coming up after the break, we've got Jeff Merrick, and the panel will show you all the highlights from the NHL. And, of course, we bring you our insider.
Well, these young Kings fans enjoying themselves and enjoying the fact that, they're on the rink just between LA Live and the Nokia Center. Great area here near Staples Center. Just a reminder, Rogers Oilers hockey is back in 48 hours as Edmonton finishes their 4-game road trip in Denver against the Colorado Avalanche. This game will be on Sportsnet Oilers channel at 7:30 p.m. Mountain. That is Thursday night. Now, Oiler fans, I'm sure, remember what happened between these two teams the last time they met in Rexall Place. Louis and Kevin addressed the fact that the LA Kings, boy, were they on some kind of a streak in the first 20 minutes of a hockey game. It was literally impossible for opposing teams to be able to score. Now, Chicago ended that streak with 3 goals a couple of nights ago, but another streak has been started this evening on the part of LA as the Oilers were unable, despite some pretty good chances, to score in the first 20 minutes of play at Staples Center as the Oilers are taking on the Kings. Well, the Edmonton Oilers, after their game in Anaheim on Sunday night, bus to Los Angeles and had a workout the morning of Monday And after that, then the players, for the most part, had the day to themselves to try and recover after playing 3 pretty tough games over the course of 4 nights. And as usual with the team, they go in many separate directions. But in particular, we're focused on Andrew Ference, who had himself quite a day. He decided first to go to Venice Beach, and as is the case and is possible, you can rent bikes, and so he went for a nice long bike ride. And then while he was in the Venice Beach area, he went to Cave Gallery, and he wasn't just window shopping, because while he was there, he not only bought one painting, but Andrew Ference went on to buy a second painting. Both of these are currently on display, and when they're finished being on display, they will be shipped to Edmonton, and he can put them, he and Mrs. Ference can figure out a spot to put them in their home. So he does have a love for art, and he's hoping that maybe tonight's game will end up being, Louis and Kevin, a work of art.
Absolutely, Gene. As we take a look at the first period scoring summary brought to you by Worley Parsons Cord. Visit WorleyParsons.com/careers to find your place on our team.
Well, it was Dwight King with the only goal of the first period. Nifty move by him. I called him Kopitar because he looked like Kopitar.
Sure did.
Played a little delay to wait out Bryzgalov. But a definite good first period by the Los Angeles Kings, outshooting Edmonton 13-7. They controlled the puck for the most part and had the better chances, and walked away with a 1-0 lead after that first 20.
And just one power play in that first period. The Oilers had it. They generated 1 of their 7 shots. As the second period is underway, Ryan Smith with Boyd Gordon and Alashemsky to start this period. Ference and Petrie on the blue line. Hemsky against Doughty. Hemsky turns, gives it to Smith. Ryan Smith out in front, trying to slide it home. Another chance. Ryan Smith gets close to his 26th career goal against the LA Kings.
This is a big save early on from Martin Jones, but I really like this play by Ryan Smith. And again, we talked about pucks getting thrown away in the first 20 by Edmonton. Not this time. It's Alashemsky. He waits, he holds on to it, finds Smith, and he wisely walks this one to the blue paint. Has a first shot, gets his own rebound, and tries to go for the second one past the pad, but a beautiful save by Martin Jones to get the pad down, deny him on the post in the second one. That one there, and then that one again, and he covers it up for the whistle.
Nugent Hopkins with Eberle and Hall now. Schultz and Schultz on the blue line. The LA Kings, the best face-off team in the National Hockey League. And Ryan Nugent-Hopkins had a little trouble in that first period, did not win a draw. Hall with it now to Eberle, turns, here's Nugent-Hopkins' shot. And it's stopped by Jones, and Williams comes back the other way. Williams chips it in, Brown's going after it. Stoll calling for it on the near side. He'll get it, center it right out in front. Williams wasn't there, Eberle was. Here's Hall with speed against Regeer. Hall going wide, lets the shot go, Regeer got a piece of it. Boynoff picks it up near side. Tracked down there by Hall. Taylor Hall leads the team. Louis in takeaways, an example right there.
Yeah, real good takeaway by Taylor Hall. He also leads the team in giveaways as well, Kevin. But the thing you love about Taylor Hall, and as of lately, he's really been battling back for those loose pucks. That's a prime example right there. He gets back quickly and breaks up the play. So a good rush first to start the period, and it was Taylor Hall down low that kind of worked it out to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with another real terrific chance, a quick little shot, but little pass to Eberle. The fan shot goes right to Nugent-Hopkins, and he follows it up with a quick shot of his own. And then he drives wide on Robin Regeer and follows it up. And this is what you were talking about, getting back in the play, breaking it up, and repossessing the puck.
Green, a long shot, and handled by Bryzgalov. And you know Taylor Hall felt bad about that giveaway in the first period. It did not result in a goal, but it was a giveaway to a dangerous guy in Andrei Kopitar.
Yeah, no question. And, you know, when you look at the Los Angeles Kings, they're a team that does not allow a whole lot of goals against. And they're really stingy, but they're a team that loves to feast on turnovers as well. And for Taylor Hall, sometimes he wants to force that pass into a play, wants to throw that whole pass out. There's a lot of young players doing, skilled players are trying to force the issue, but LA makes you feel that way. And in this period, I'd like to see Edmonton stop doing that because it's dangerous, and they will make you pay eventually if you continue to do it.
Martinez throws a shot wide. Tyler Toffoli is shot, and that one stopped by Bryzgalov. Toffoli with Lewis, Kopitar, and here moving in. Martinez circles the net, tries to throw it in front. Nobody home. Instead, it's picked up by Kopitar. Kopitar waits. He'll go down low. Martinez shot, and that one whistles wide. like Martinez. He had a goal against Chicago, the only goal they scored on Sunday.
Yeah, that was a good chance there for Martinez, and he just found a little quiet space in behind everyone. Kopitar with a nice little delay to wait, allow Martinez to pinch down, and he just missed the net wide.
Sam Gagner behind the net. Quick shot by Gazdic, did not get all of it. But a nice feed from Sam Gagner. Carter chips it in. King going after it. Nick Schultz there first and dangerously goes into the boards. Nick Schultz. And the play continues. That could have been a very serious situation. Doughty's shot is stopped by Bryzgalov. And now a penalty coming up, and it will be a hooking call. And it will be Nick Schultz.
Pro Hockey Life, the ultimate hockey megastore.
Well, Kevin, as you were mentioning, a real scary situation with Schultz going back, and I do believe he just lost an edge. You know, he knew he had King right on his heels, but King did not put a stick in there, and good for him that he gets up, and unfortunately he goes right back after King, and that little hold right there, a little too long, draws the two, and he'll go to the box 2 minutes for hooking, and the LA Kings will get their first power play of this game. So good that he's healthy and good that he wasn't hurt in that play, because that could be really dangerous going to the boards.
Kings were 0 for 5 when these teams met on October the 27th. And they were 0 for against Chicago as well, 0 for 3. In fact, they've got just 3 power play goals in their last 12 games. A power play that has struggled by their standards. It's ranked 20th. Brown with the puck now. He's got Williams headed to the net, takes the shot instead. Williams behind the net, gets checked by Ference. Ference, though, can't get it by Voinov. He lets the shot go. Bryzgalov the save. The rebound cleared by Petrie. Williams on the near side. He'll play it back to Voinov. Over to Martinez. Martinez, slap pass down low for Brown. Brown has got Stoll and Williams as options. Petrie on the intercept. Checked by Williams, fights him off, finds a lane and sends it down the ice. Good job by Jeff Petrie.
Nice patience by him, too. He wanted to rip that one around the boards, but he had a little look-see, looked right down the pipe and realized nobody was there. After a nice little steal behind the net on Williams, he puts it 200 feet up the center.
Carter brings it in, gets around Nugent Hopkins, centering pass, comes right to Kopitar. Andrei Kopitar, hard cross ice for Muzzin. His shot was blocked by Justin Schultz. Kopitar's got it again. Intercepted by Perron, who swings it down the ice. The Oilers block a ton of shots on the road. In fact, they're 3rd in the league in block shots away from Staples Center. As Petrie again shoots it down the ice. 27 seconds left to go, and the penalty to Nick Schultz. Andrei Kopitar stops up. Kopitar feeds it up top to Drew Doughty. Drew Doughty. Quick shot there by Muzzin. Kopitar on the near side again. Swings it back. Kept in by Muzzin. He'll give it back to Kopitar. Kopitar looking for Muzzin. It was broken up by Jones. But Muzzin gets the puck back. The penalty is over. 2 shots for the Kings. They have possession now. Now it's Gordon with it. Schultz is out of the penalty box. Here is Jones. The Oilers making a change as Jones brings it in. He's got Hall. Taylor Hall fires a shot from a sharp angle. Jones makes the save, and it is Schultz with the puck down low. Justin Schultz back to Hall. He'll swing it around the boards. Everly waiting for it. He's got Hall in the middle. A pass intercepted there by Jared Stoll, and Stoll gets it out to center. Dustin Brown, quick pass to Jared Stoll. Stoll throws it towards the front of the net. It dribbles right to Bryzgalov with Williams on the doorstep. Decides to hang on to it.
Jared Stoll with a nice little pick off in the defensive zone, as you mentioned, denying Hall of a chance in front of the ex-Oiler. Playing some pretty good minutes right now for the Los Angeles Kings. Daryl Sutter was talking about him, how he got off to a little bit of a slow start with the injury that he suffered last year, but came into this year and has progressively gotten better as the season has gone along. Always been a great defensive forward, good in the face-off dot, and is now starting to provide a little offensive punch with 6 points in his last 7 games.
And he talked about his face-off acumen, 54.7% in the dot. He was 11-5 against Chicago. Perron with a puck now. Perron with a wrist shot through traffic. Hemsky on the wraparound attempt. Stopped by Jones. Here is Ference pitching in. Perron back to the point. It went off the stick of Arcabello and chases Larson back to his own zone as Perron and Green do a little jousting. Perron with a hit on Alec Martinez. Ales Hemsky playing in his 32nd game against LA in his career, almost gets point number 20.
Guys, they haven't been naughty, they've been nice. So see if you can get them something nice for Christmas.
13:48 to go in the second period. 20 shots for the Kings, 12 for the Oilers in a 1-0 contest. Dwight King, the only goal. It came at 16:38 of the first period. Mike Richards, Lewis in front. And he bumped into Brizgalov. Justin Schultz was there defensively. Yakupov to Perron. Perron across the blue line. He'll throw it towards the net. And Jones swallows that up and he'll make the save.
Begins the Kings' new winter hockey camp.
Canada Post NHL stamps and souvenirs. Available at your local post office or online at canadapost.ca/NHL.
On ice and dryland training sessions will be held at Toyota.
Well, Kevin, when you talk about the Pacific Division, especially here in California in the Golden State, look at the home records of the three California-based teams combined. Only 5 regulation losses at home between the three of them. So it's just part of the country to tread in lately.
And none for Anaheim. And the LA Kings, they're outshooting the Oilers right now, but they don't mind being outshot. They were outshot 40-22 against Chicago. That's the first time this year that they have lost in regulation after being outshot. They were 10-0-1 going into that game in games that they were outshot. Louis, you do not want to do anything but win this division. You don't want to be the second or third seed in the Pacific. You're going to draw a very tough opponent.
It's tough all the way through. You know, I don't think it really matters where you finish. You're going to have to beat someone that's pretty darn good. It's a real strong conference and especially strong division.
Petrie keeps it in at the point. To Eberle, to Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins trying to get it back to Eberle. Doughty was there, but he gave it away to Hall. Taylor Hall turns, gets knocked down by Carter. Back to the point, Beloff shot, and he hammered that one just wide. Larson turns to get away from the bigger Dwight King. Here comes Larson. Larson, another shot. That was taken by Hall with a little help from Larson, who delivered him the puck to shoot.
And definitely more urgency in this second period for Edmonton, especially Taylor Hall. He's been a threat every time he's hit the ice in this second period. Kind of fought the puck a little bit in the first 20, but this line has really come alive here. And a good job by Larson to recognize a seam, drive it to the net. And as he loses this puck or kind of just slips it over to Hall, realizing that he's there, he fires it to the net. I like these sharp angle shots into the feet of Jones. It's a goalie they're not really familiar with. He's a big guy. Try and get it into the area where you can't see, and you never know. It might just squeak through those pads.
He is the first goalie ever with a goals against average under 1 in winning his first 5 games.
Pretty incredible story, and you know, we got a chance to talk to him a little bit this morning. North Vancouver native, undrafted, played for the Calgary Hitmen of the WHL, had a 45-win season after signing as a free agent with the Los Angeles Kings, so they saw something they liked.
Here's Stoll driving for the net, and a poke check by Brizgalov, and Larson takes Stoll, and now a little more pushing and shoving as the net has come off the moorings. And it was Perron who went after Stoll went into the net.
That's what you call crashing the net. And no question about it. The Kings are known for this. They're a big team. They like to get into the blue paint. They like to throw pucks in there and drive away. And this one here is just a drive to the net by Stoll. And as he goes through, kind of shoves the net off. I'm not too sure why Burns was really upset with this. He didn't even make contact with Brizgalov. So maybe it was the way that the defenseman Larson goes down. But nonetheless, he didn't like it. He's protecting the blue paint. I don't mind that as well either from David Perron getting in there and mixing it up with Stoll.
He'll take a seat as Boyd Gordon, Alex Hemsky, and Ryan Smith were the two Schultzes on the blue line. Stoll stays out there to take the draw, but it is Gordon who wins it. And we talked about Boyd Gordon and his ability in the face-off circle. And Sam Gagner may benefit, he said, by picking the brain of a guy that is in the top 5 when it comes to the dot.
Yeah, no question about it. Someone else also to battle with is a right-handed face-off man coming up against Gagne, who's also right-handed. So he says he hasn't had a real solid right-handed guy. You know, Arcobello stepped in this year and has started to be really effective in the face-off dot. But it was Jared Stoll he talked about early in his career for Gagne that was a good guy to battle against in practice. And now Boyd Gordon has filled that spot.
Ales Hemsky's got Ryan Smith out in front if he can get him the puck. A good defensive play there by Voinov, and another one as he broke up that pass. Smith checked by Regier. Ryan Smith trying to fight him off. Left the puck there into the shift. Voinov's got it. 11 minutes left to go in this second period. Andrei Kopitar across the blue line. Kopitar. Carter plays it out in front. There's a shot and a good save by Bryzgalov as King let it go. Hall back the other way. Taylor Hall across the blue line. Here is Taylor Hall. Couldn't get the shot as it hit Regier. Nugent Hopkins keeps possession. Eberle tips it just wide. Jordan Eberle from the corner. Back up top it goes to Petrie. Petrie with a wrist shot through traffic. Voinov is there to clear the puck out. And it was just out. As the whistle goes, the Oilers get caught.
Well, this whole sequence was set up by a great save again by Bryzgalov, and it's a nice pass from behind the net that finds its way into the slot. Kopitar driving through. It's Carter that just a little backhand no-looker to Dwight King, who's standing in the slot. And for Bryzgalov, great read here to follow this through. Goes off of him actually before it goes to King, and he just follows it the whole way and makes another good save, high-quality chance, and that led to the rush down into the offensive zone that the Oilers were able to generate a couple high-quality chances.
He faced 34 shots in that game against Anaheim and made 29 saves. Lewis tied up there by Larson. Larson lays it around the boards, kept in by Jake Muzzin, snaps his shot. That one goes behind the net. Doughty keeps it in on the near side for Lewis. Lewis. There's another shot by Jake Muzzin. Jones with an opportunity to get it out. Can't get it by number 6. Out in front to Foley shot. That doesn't make it through. Gazdic plays it off the boards. Looking for Ryan Jones. Just a little bit too far for him. To Foley. To Doughty. To Jared Stoll. Stoll snaps his shot. That went off Nick Schultz and is covered up by Ilya Bryzgalov. Rogers, Oilers hockey from the Staples Center here in Los Angeles.
Well, the LA Kings are off to such a great start this season, and the hockey players have been able to share that enjoyment with their fathers. The team recently had a father-son trip, and there you see Mr. Regier at the front of the picture as they were able to get together with their sons. Colin Fraser, former Oiler. There's a look at the jersey that his dad was wearing. Another former Oiler, Jared Stoll, and his dad. And a reminder, that was pleasure, but it'll be business when Andrei Kopitar's dad coaches Slovenia at the Olympics. We'll see how father and son, under those circumstances, are able to Kopitar.
All right, I'm not putting a lot of money on a gold medal from those guys. Just saying, Lou. 9 minutes, 18 seconds to go in the second period. The Oilers looking for their first goal of this game. Hemsky flips it in. He'll go racing after it. Little help there from Boyd Gordon. Hemsky comes up with the puck. Ales Hemsky on the far side. Turns. Down low for Gordon. He is tied up there. Shot right on. That one tipped wide. Hemsky with Smith and Gordon. Gordon heads to the bench. Gagne's on the ice right now. Beloff shot. That one off the stick of Brown and wide. Beloff follows up. He'll play it behind the net. Ryan Smith is there. Tied up by Green. Puck loose. Martinez gets it to the captain Brown. He'll get it to Stoll. Jared Stoll has got Williams. Justin Williams stops up. Throws it behind the net. Beloff got there ahead of Lewis. Got the puck to Yakupov, quickly to Gagne. Sam Gagne. At the end of the shift for Ales Hemsky, he'll just dump that puck in. Connor Toffoli, tied up by Anton Beloff. Regier gave it away to Yakupov. Oh, what a save by Jones, but it was sitting there on the blue paint. Perron keeps it in inside the blue line. He took a shot up high from Lewis as Toffoli dumps the puck in. Fell off the boards for Gagne. What an opportunity there for Nail Yakupov.
Yeah, and then Gagne right afterwards, who the rebound just jumped right to, and he had a pretty good whack at it, but LA so good at, after making a mistake, giving up a high-quality chance, we're able to recover, get in front of it, and as you mentioned, it was Jones that just in that scramble was able to make that save, but good pressure and a good pushback here by Edmonton in the second period.
Carter stuffed up there by Ferentz. King. Back to the point, it's Doughty. To Jake Muzzin, through traffic. Kopitar the screen, but Brizgalov kicks it aside. Carter trying to get it back to the point. Instead, it comes to Kopitar. Andrej Kopitar fighting against Petrie. Here is Kopitar. For Muzzin, he was stopped, but Carter carries on. Carter trying to muscle his way out in front. That is stopped. And the Oilers with an opportunity to get it out now, and it's Hall quickly to Eberle. Jordan Eberle against Drew Doughty. Eberle centering for Hall with a shot stopped by Jones. And here comes Lyndon Vang. Vang by himself. The Kings make changes. Justin Schultz lays it along the boards. Ryan Jones takes a look, takes a hit as he gets the puck out to center. 6 minutes, 37 seconds to go in the second period. Tipped in by Matt Fratton. Brizgalov will leave it there for Andrew Ferentz. And Ferentz to Arcabello. Arcabello across the blue line. Tried to split the defense. Instead, he gives a hit to the bigger Green. Jones plays it back to the point. Nick Schultz is there. Nick Schultz through traffic, and that one is blocked before it could get through by Alec Martinez. Ryan Jones right out in front, nobody home. Fratton picks it up. He'll give it to Nolan. Jordan Nolan dumps it in the opposite corner. Schultz knocks down Fratton as he gets to the puck and sends it down the ice. But this one is coming back on the icing call.
Some good end-to-end action here from both sides and some good chances. And we've talked a lot about Martin Jones and the way he started his National Hockey League career 5-0 as a member of the Los Angeles Kings in the NHL. And here another great chance by Yakupov as he just kind of steals a bobbling puck from Regeer, walks it out into the front. And the first save made, gets a little bit of a break on the second one. This little drive wide on the next one. Good job by Eberle to get this puck to Hall, and he tries to jam it short side on Jones as well.
You talk about being from the frying pan into the fire. His first game is in Anaheim.
And he wins it. And then he shut out the next two opponents that he faced. So 2 shutouts in those 5 games as well for Martin Jones. So he's a great story, and he's showing why he's a great story in this game tonight as well. Hasn't let one get by him.
He said his most nervous moment was the night before the Anaheim game. Right now, his team with a 1-0 lead. 5.5 minutes to go in the second period. Pressure on. Williams. He is stopped, and Ryan Smith has got it. Checked by Voynov. And that is offside for Justin Williams. Rogers Oilers hockey from the Staples Center in Los Angeles. We'll be back after this.
The Goals for Heroes program is proudly sponsored by Synovus. For every Oilers goal this season, Synovus will donate $400 to Valor Place Military Family Support House. To date, the Oilers have scored 93 goals for a total of $37,200.
Right now, no goals for the Edmonton Oilers in the second period. 5 minutes and 19 seconds. But just like the game in Anaheim, Louis, this Oilers team hanging around with the big boys from the Pacific.
Yep, they are hanging around. They know a lot much better second period, in my opinion. They've given a couple high-quality chances against, but they've generated some, and they haven't been easy to do. Get those opportunities. They've had to work hard for them and get pucks to the net. And they've done that a little bit more here in this second.
Boyd Gordon uses the glass, gets that puck down the ice. Hemsky in a race against Regeer. Regeer drops it for Voynov. Williams turned it over to Hemsky, throws it towards the net. That one goes wide. Regeer will pick it up. Voynov can't get much on it. The Oilers able to keep it in. Boyd Gordon has it go by him. Robin Regeer will try again. Dustin Brown gets checked by Jeff Petrie. Eberle against Regeer. Swings in behind the net. Plays it back to the point. Ferentz off his skate. He'll get it down low. Nugent Hopkins intercepts, gets it to Hall. He's checked by Regeer. Hall fights through that. Taylor Hall throws it towards the net. Stopped by Jones. Ferentz leaves the puck. Nugent Hopkins there, but he gave it away to Williams. And Williams relieves the pressure by sending it down the ice. Andrew Ferentz to Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall circles to get away from Mike Richards. Now he'll throw a high pass to Jordan Eberle. And that one just a little bit outside.
If you're looking for commercial insurance or risk management services, contact us to see what the power of insight can do for you.
Safeway's featured participating product for tonight's hockey game is Christie Crackers.
Taylor Hall has 5 shots and 3 chances in this game, but that was a tough pass for Jordan Eberle to handle.
Yeah, Evie Calvin Nuke Lelouch from Boulder. Yeah, just a little bit outside. But for Taylor Hall, I'll tell you what, he's ratcheted up in the second period and was fighting the puck a little bit in that first period, but has generated some chances with his speed, with his drive, and a little frustration. It looks like there's going to be a penalty here to Nail Yakupov for holding the stick off the face-off as he reaches around right there. Makes it a little too obvious that he was trying to block out Trevor Lewis getting to that puck. So the second power play for Los Angeles coming up.
They had 2 shots on their first power play in this second period. Kopitar, Carter, Richards, Doughty, and Muzzin. Face-off win for Boyd Gordon. He is out there with Jones, Petrie, and Ferentz.
Yakupov, minor penalty for holding the stick at 16:09.
It's cleared the glass, but there for Jake Muzzin, just got a piece of it.
They tried to sell it.
They did.
Good eye by the linesman there to recognize that did go off indeed the hand of Muzzin.
And Muzzin now ties up with Jones, but there is Gordon to send it the length of the ice. 3.5 minutes to go in the second period. And 1:35 to go in the penalty to Nail Yakupov. Kopitar around Ferentz. Kopitar, button hook, back to Doughty at the point. Doughty over to Muzzin. Jake Muzzin. Got Carter in the high slot, gives it to Doughty. Snap shot. Richards providing the screen. Opportunity slid wide by Jeff Carter. Traffic in front of Ilya Bryzgalov. He had to be concentrating as he's got big guys in black shirts in front of him. Kopitar chased back into his own zone by Ryan Smith. Oilers will change their penalty killers. Hopeful pass for Brown, too far for him, and that's going to cost the LA Kings an icing call.
And the LA Kings are a team that has really struggled with the man advantage, Kevin, coming into tonight's action. Only 3 power play goals in their last 12, and it baffles me when you look at the size, the skill that they have up front, the defensemen that they have at their disposal for Daryl Sutter. It's about the basics, and he talked a little bit this morning about getting pucks to the net, especially a guy like Drew Doughty, who, when he wants to fire it up, bring it to the net, it's pretty hard to stop him in that regard. But again, just a disoriented power play for the Los Angeles Kings that hasn't generated a whole lot. And you saw Kopitar there just trying to generate something with that long stretch pass attempt up the ice to Brown.
He's got 5 power play goals on the season. Stoll with the puck now. He'll go down low for Williams. Williams back up top. Alec Martinez with the puck to Williams. Williams drop pass. Martinez fakes the shot. Here it comes. A swing and a miss for Slava Voinov. Williams from the corner. He'll play it back to Martinez. Down to 22 seconds of power play time. Williams. His pass almost picked off there by Perron. Williams still has it. Williams fans on a pass. He's trying to force it back to Voinov. Perron almost took advantage of it. Brown checked by Nick Schultz. Stoll back to Voinov. Voinov fakes the shot. They got just one. A good stick there by Nugent Hopkins as Yakupov is out of the box. Sharp angle shot for Williams. Williams has it again. He'll play it back to Regeer. Regeer will give it to Williams. Play it to the corner. Dustin Brown picks it up there. Brown back to the point, and Regeer can't keep it in. Voinov fires it in. The puck jumping just a little bit on the LA Kings. The LA Clippers were in action here last night. King with the puck now. King back up up top. Here's Doughty with a shot through traffic. Lewis was the screen. Trevor Lewis down low to King. King to Toffoli. In that mix was Justin Schultz, and he played it around the near side. Doughty pitching in. He gave it away to Jordan Eberle. Eberle's with Gagne. Eberle moving in. Lets the shot go and went off Robin Regeer. Less than a minute to go here in the second period. Eberle, wrap-around attempt. That gets thwarted, and Doughty clears the puck down the ice. Larson will go back to pick it up. He and Beloff are on the blue line. Hall, quick touch pass to Gagne. Gagne, drop pass for Eberle. He drops it back for Hall. Kopitar in the corner. Here is Hall. Then a backhand, covered up by Jones with Gagne lurking.
Yeah, real solid move here by Taylor Hall. And Jordan Eberle just had the puck on a string in this second period. He's been able to get the puck in aggressively. Taylor Hall just keeps digging away. And it's not easy treading. Good sticks by the Kings down low. They're big bodies. They're good at blocking out. They finish checks. But for Taylor Hall, he just perseveres, stays with it, and gets a real good opportunity that Jones has to come up with another good save. So you like to see these battles in the corners being won by Edmonton in this second period and generating some good chances.
From the faceoff, it was won by Kopitar. Nolan tips it in, and that is going to come back the other way. He tipped it in behind the red line.
Yeah, we talked about Martin Jones a lot already in this game, and the fact that he was a second star last week in the National Hockey League, and for good reason. 5-0-0 start to his career in the National Hockey League has paid his dues. And for Daryl Sutter this morning, he said that for him being around the last couple of years in the playoffs, through their runs, lengthy runs at that, being in that environment each and every day, he thinks it was the best education for him.
Makes a save right there with 15 seconds to go. Hard to believe, undrafted.
Yeah, had a little bit of a bitterness to his voice this morning when he talked about that. But at the same time, good things happen to those who wait, I guess. And for him, he waited a little bit longer and was able to sign with the Los Angeles Kings and is doing a pretty darn good job for them.
Jeff Barrick, we are through 40 minutes, 28-19 the shots. We have just one goal in the game so far.
We do, and if you're with us for the pregame, Brian Lawton talked about the Los Angeles Kings and what they do so well, shrink the rink, and that is in full effect through 40 minutes of play, 1-0 Los Angeles. Coming up this intermission, Brian Lawton, Neil Smith break down that period from Brizgalov keeping the Oilers in to notes on the Oilers penalty kill. Stay tuned. Dwight King still has the Kings ahead, 1-0.
Welcome back into the LA Live area, and neither team able to get a goal on the board in period 2, so the difference continues to be 1 for the Kings over the Oilers. Meanwhile, if you need a stocking stuffer for your little fan this Christmas, we'll sign them up for the Oilers Kids Club presented by Save On Foods for only $10. Fans between the ages of 3 and 12 will receive exclusive Kids Club merchandise, a VIP Kids Club membership card for 10% off all regularly priced merchandise, which is offered through the Oilers store at Kingsway Mall and Rexall Place on game days. As well, exclusive access to monthly prizes. Register before the end of January and be entered for a chance to win a pizza party with Sam Gagner. Sign up now at edmontonoilers.com/Kids Club. Well, when you lose your number one goaltender and quite possibly the Olympic goaltender for the USA, you would think that the LA Kings would struggle, but that has not been the case since Jonathan Quick was injured, with the likes of Ben Scrivens and Martin Jones doing what they have been doing best in net on the part of the LA Kings. And certainly the hottest story as of late is Martin Jones. Louis and Kevin has spoken about his results so far in the early part of his career, and this puck certainly means a lot to him. Recorded his first NHL win against Anaheim. That was in Game 1. Game 2, he shut out the New York Islanders 16 saves and then had to make a total of 31 saves 3 days after that for a shutout win against Montreal. And that's the puck that will go in a plaque soon, and they may be adding more considering the way he's been playing.
Our scoring summaries are brought to you by Worley Parsons Cord. Visit worleyparsons.com/careers to find your place on our team.
Well, all the scoring in this game done in the first period. It was Dwight King with his 9th, the only goal of the game. So a pretty defensive affair here as the Oilers are outshot 13-7 in that first period. But in the second period, they were able to come back and generate some chances of their own, only getting outshot 15-12. So they put some shots on young Martin Jones. He was up to the task and has made All the saves so far throughout 2 periods, 19 for him and 27 saves for Bryzgalov.
On Sunday, Chicago snapped a streak of 18 straight games without giving up a goal in the first period. The Oilers will now try to snap another streak. The LA Kings are a perfect 11-0 when leading after 40 minutes. And the third period underway. Kopitar's centering pass gets by Carter. Here is Hemsky. Ales Hemsky circles in his own zone. They'll give it to Andrew Ference. Ference for Smith. And that hopped over his stick, so it's going to be icing against the Oilers to start this period, 30 seconds in.
We've seen a little bit of this happening through this game. The puck getting up a little on edge and going over top of the stick of Ryan Smith, just trying to redirect it into the end zone, so it'll come back to the left of Ilya Bryzgalov.
The Oilers will continue this road trip as we take a look at the... he's got the big blade, but still hopped over.
Couldn't get that one.
He needs Timo Solanni's stick.
That was a one-hopper, yeah. Timo would have had that.
The Oilers continue the road trip. They'll be in Colorado on Thursday. We'll have that game for you. Then they're going to go home to play St. Louis. And that game is on Saturday. And then the last game before the Christmas break will be Tuesday. The Winnipeg Jets will be in town, and we'll have that one as well. Brown, pass for Stoll, gets by him. Taylor Hall picks it up on the far side. Taylor Hall starts away. Through the middle, Nugent Hopkins off the end of his stick. Came right to Robin Regehr. He was checked by Eberle. Good job by Eberle to get it to Nugent Hopkins. Pass for Hall didn't work, but there is Nugent Hopkins again on the puck. Takes it away from Mike Richards. Now Voynov scoops it up, and he will get it to Justin Williams. And Justin Williams wants to get a change in, so he eases it down into Oiler territory. The Kings, meanwhile, are starting the first of a 4-game homestand for them. They're ranked 15th in the league at home. San Jose will be in here on Thursday, and then Colorado pays a visit on Saturday. Drew Doughty to Foley. He gets knocked down. Hayes sends the puck in, race for it. Lewis gets there first. Trevor Lewis back to the point it comes. Drew Doughty hesitates, now throws it through. And there is Bryzgalov to make his first save of the period. Anton Belov. Well, a little help from his Russian friend Yakupov sends it out. Muzzin lays it back to Doughty. Drew Doughty. Long shot by Nolan, steered aside easily by Bryzgalov. And it chases Bay back into his own zone. Pass picked off. Here comes Jones. Jones shot, and that one went off Martinez and wide. Larson able to keep it in. Ryan Jones behind the net. Little help from Arcabello. Eberle on that line as well as the Oilers try and find a way to get back even in this game. Larson from the point throws it through traffic. And that was just outside the line. It's an offside call.
Good shift by this line to try and keep the puck in the offensive zone. And right there you can see the puck roll over the line on the stick of Larson. So good call by the linesman to blow that down. Green upends Ryan Smith. Boyd Gordon in there digging for it. It comes loose, and Jeff Carter to King to Kopitar. Andrei Kopitar chips it in against Petrie. Goes after it. Kopitar behind the net. Tied up there by Ference. The puck squirts free for Dwight King. And then Kopitar feels the wrath of Jeff Petrie, who knocked him down.
He gave Petrie a good little elbow on the way in, so I think Petrie wanted to pay him back a little bit.
And did.
Well, you look at Andrei Kopitar, and he's a pretty mild-mannered guy. You know, he's so silky smooth, has tremendous skill, but every once in a while he's not afraid to dish out a little forearm shiver, a little flying elbow, I like to call it.
Chicken wing.
Chicken wing.
Taylor Hall gets it to Nick Schultz. Schultz will give it to Justin. Justin right back to Nick. Nick. Pass for Hall. Here's Taylor Hall bitten in by himself. Taylor Hall backhand, and he slid it wide. What a great setup to spring Taylor Hall, but he slid the backhand just wide. Hall, Eberle, Nugent Hopkins. The Schultz combine to get the puck to Taylor Hall, and he almost capitalized. Here at the point, Voynov hammers a shot deflected wide. Rebound attempt for Brown, and a good defensive play there by Justin Schultz. Hall wants to relieve the pressure, can't get it out. Slap pass for Williams. Williams comes back up top. Voynov hammers that shot, and there's a pad save by Ilya Bryzgalov. Justin Williams hanging onto it, now decides to put it in the corner as the LA Kings want to get a change in while the puck's in the attacking zone. Jordan Eberle gave it away to Richards. Mike Richards moving in, and Richards trying to center it. There's Justin Schultz again with a solid defensive play. Richards with Lewis. Trevor Lewis from the corner. Trevor Lewis being tracked by Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins almost stole it, and here is Carter with a shot. Bryzgalov the save, and the rebound sat there for just a second.
Dangerous situation there for Evan. They got caught in the defensive zone for a lengthy period of time. The big line out there. And LA was able to get a fresh change of bodies on the ice, keep that pressure alive, and generate another high-quality chance.
Gagne. Yakupov and Perron, the forward line now. 14:35 to go in regulation time. 32 shots for the LA Kings, 19 for the Oilers. The shots were 48-18 the last time these teams met. Philip Larson chases it in himself. Yakupov from the corner. Mayo Yakupov checked by Bay. Matt Fratton. They'll give it to Alec Martinez. Martinez throws it around the boards. Waiting for it there is Fratton. Checked by Perron. Larson comes in to help out. Larson can't get it out though. Kept in by Andrei Kopitar. Larson will have another chance, and he'll get it to Belov. And Belov will reset from behind the Oilers' net as the Oilers make a change. Larson lays it up for Jones, and Ryan Jones chips it in. Regeer around the boards it goes. There is Ferris to try and keep it in. Can't do it. An opportunity now. Moving in is Jeff Carter. Carter cutting for the net. Poke check there by Bryzgalov. Throws it towards the net. That hit Bryzgalov in the mask and loosened it. Would need a whistle, and they'll get it. Ilya Bryzgalov mask came loose, and the play stops. Breakaways at both ends. Taylor Hall with an opportunity that slid just wide. Outstanding play, outstanding results. Brought to you by RE/MAX. Outstanding agents, outstanding results.
Well, it's a play that we just saw before going to break. Great little poke check here by Carter. He's off to the races, goes to the backhand. Watch the paddle of Bryzgalov, though. Gets it down and pokes it out very quickly to deny. Jeff Carter of his 10th goal of the season right there. Perfect timing on that defensive play to keep it a one-goal game.
And then the shot from Carter loosened the strap of the mask of Ilya Bryzgalov and brought about a whistle.
And you know what? Little sportsmanship there, too, from Jeff Carter. That puck was going into the net after he shot it after the whistle, and instead of letting it go in, he ensured that it didn't go in. So not too many guys would do that. You want to rub a little salt on the wound, and goaltenders don't like to see pucks go over their line at any time, even in practice, but in a game. Could have maybe got Bryzgalov off of his game a little bit there, but he decides to not let it go.
I guess hitting him in the mask was probably enough.
That was another insult. Yeah.
Hemsky to Smith, and offside at the Kings blue line.
Ales Hemsky, Kevin, has had a good game since missing the last one with the sore ribs that he suffered in the game versus Vancouver on Friday night. Looks no worse for wear. Has been his typical speedy self, driving pucks down the right-hand side. He's created a couple real high-quality chances, and as usual, takes a few bumps along the way.
He is definitely a guy who will pay the price to make the play. And Robin Regeer is a guy that's tried to take his head off a few times.
Over the past 10 years, yeah, multiple times.
BMO Raptors basketball happens tomorrow as Toronto hosts the Charlotte Bobcats at 4:30 p.m. Mountain on Sportsnet West, Pacific East, and Ontario.
We've got 13-17 to go here in regulation time. The Kings have fired 33 shots towards Ilya Bryzgalov. The Oilers have responded with 19 towards the rookie Martin Jones. These teams will not meet again until March the 9th, and that game is in Edmonton. The last meeting here in California for the Kings and the Oilers. Jones sees that puck sitting there, decides to jump on it and bring about another whistle.
depth-wise move for Jones. You know, the top line of Edmonton has been real tricky for the Kings in the second period and carrying over into this third period. They've been the best line by far for Edmonton, generating chances, getting high-quality chances again. So Jones, because, you know, I've seen enough of that besides to hold on to that one.
Ferentz with a wrist shot that misses. Jeff Petrie down low. He and King come together, and both of those guys go down. As Hall picks the puck up at center. Neat little pass there to Nugent Hopkins. Quickly to Everly. Everly trying to get it back to him. Muzzin cut him off, and Doughty got the puck. Carter with a pass to Kopitar. Long pass intended for King was too far for him. Petrie returns back into his own zone. He'll give it to the captain. And that's tipped away by Jeff Carter and ends up in his souvenir mode.
Good stick there by Jeff Carter. And, you know, Daryl Sutter this morning must have mentioned the word 200 feet a dozen times. You know, that's the way he coaches the games. He wants his players to play that 200-foot game. Doesn't want them to be specialists. He wants them to be all-around players. And, you know, mentioned that talking about Drew Doughty. Kevin, just the way that he's elevated his game this year is doing more than just that offensive-minded guy going up the ice. He's played a real complete game this year.
Sutter with 483 career victories, and the coach that delivered the first ever Stanley Cup here to LA.
Then expectations obviously rise when you win the Stanley Cup. You know, they won 6 in a row. Lost to the Chicago Blackhawks after giving up goals for the first time in 18 games in the first period, 3 of them. But, you know, back to work and had some criticism for his team and wants them to be better. And that's what happens when you win the Stanley Cup 2 years ago. Your expectations go up to that plateau. So for Daryl Sutter trying to keep his team in check, and they've come out and performed pretty well so far in this one.
Well, they played back-to-back games on the weekend. We all thought for sure they weren't going to practice on Monday or have an optional. Everybody was there.
That 6-game winning streak is over.
22-8-4 is their record. 10-4-2 at home.
Yeah, they've been pretty solid here at home, and you know they're getting some real good production from some young players in their organization. You look at Tyler Toffoli, you know, a guy that scored back-to-back 50 goals in his last couple of years as a junior in Ottawa, the Ontario Hockey League, and 28 goals in his rookie season in Manchester in the AHL, and he's come up here and really produced offensively, 15 points in 20 games, so another real bright offensive star coming up through the rankings. And you got to pay your dues when you come onto a team like Los Angeles. You don't just get the ice time. He's playing on the third line tonight, but making good on his ice time.
He had 5 points in 10 games last year. As you mentioned, 15 so far. Here's a backhand that goes wide off the stick of Lyndon Bay, another one of those young up-and-comers for the LA Kings.
Yeah, you talked about Vane, 6 last year in American Hockey League scoring, so another real good offensive bright spot there as well, getting some time. And one of the guys that Sutter talked about a little bit this morning, and the fact that he's going to have to learn to play that 200-foot game too, and it's not all about offense.
A 4th-round draft pick in 2009 as Stoll fires a shot wide. Paul picks it up and sends it out to center. Jake Muzzin is there. He'll give it to Drew Doughty. Doughty back to Muzzin. Williams, Stoll, and Brown. Here is Dustin Brown moving in against Petrie. Petrie with a great stick. And there is Hall being flattened by Muzzin. And there was a guy wearing number 6 for Anaheim who did a little hitting on Taylor Hall last time you and I did a game.
Yeah, Ben Lovejoy, good hit thrown there by Jordan Eberle on Williams there. You don't see Jordan Eberle throw his weight around too often, but a good little pop on Williams there after Muzzin catches Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall saw Muzzin coming the whole way, but knew he had to make the play and take the hit, and he did.
Here's Eberle with a shot, and that one is blocked by Alec Martinez. Race for it on the far side. Green trying to get there ahead of Ferentz. He does. And away comes King. King against Petrie. Button hooks, lays it back. Quick shot by Carter. What a release by number 77. Martinez throws it towards the net. That went off Ryan Jones, and it comes loose. And there, picking it up Hasek style, is Brizgalov.
Here is the basket of half-eaten zucchini sticks from the win known as Money Monday.
Pick your winners today with Pools.
Shop and swipe your club card at Safeway today, and you could be our next lucky winner. Watch future Sportsnet telecasts. You could win a week of unlimited luxury at Dreams Resorts and Spas, courtesy of redtag.ca.
Closing in on the halfway point of this third period. 1-0 the score. Regeer sends it around the boards. Lewis waiting for it. Checked by Ryan Jones. Back to the point. It is kept in briefly there by Slava Voinov. Voinov, 14 points from the blue line. David Perron against Regeer. Here's Voinov. Around the boards it goes. Picked up there by Trevor Lewis. Lewis a little bit of trouble getting going. Passes it to Regeer. Regeer dumps that puck in, peels off, and hits the bench. Nail Yakupov to Sam Gagner. To David Perron. Perron. He gets surrounded, gets knocked down. Play continues.
Could have been a penalty.
To Foley. He'll start the rush, dish off to nobody in particular, and it's chipped out to center. Swung in there by Jake Muzzin. And Philip Larson will pick it up. Philip Larson, Louis, not the biggest guy in the world, but he has held his own against some of the big teams and some of the big guys tonight.
Typical European player, so strong in the core and legs, and Larson's no different. Terrific skater, has that balance. Reminds me a lot of Temple Newman back in the day, a guy I played with in Phoenix. Just looked like you could run him over easily, but so strong on the puck.
Oilers with pressure on. Here's Ales Hemsky. Ales Hemsky to Bella. He had Gordon in front. He was checked there by Martinez. And that puck ends up going down the ice, but a good shift by that line as they will force an icing call against LA.
You know, with Philip Larson, the thing I like about him too is he can skate very well forward. He reminds me of this guy right here sometimes. You mix them up, Hemsky and Larson, but it's those powerful legs that allow him to get up on the rush. And against a team like the Los Angeles Kings, they like to clog the neutral zone up somewhere, a place that Sutter talked about having to be very good against the Edmonton Oilers, which they have been in this game tonight. The defense can really start to take that away by carrying the puck up the ice with speed and beating that first checker, getting pucks in deep, establishing the forecheck. And Larson has done that a couple times tonight.
It's Nick and Justin Schultz on the blue line right now as Taylor Hall keeps the puck in for Jordan Eberle. Justin Schultz sneaking down low. Hall back at the point, throws it towards the net, blocked by Green. And Green will get it to Matt Fratton. And Fratton wants to relieve the pressure as he sends it slowly down the ice, and that will allow the Kings to get that change in.
Really impressive how the Los Angeles Kings have buckled things down here. There's been a few opportunities for Edmonton to get shots to the net. They've tried, but they've been denied by good blocks by defensemen and forwards of LA, obviously protecting a one-goal lead and a shutout bid to third for young Martin Jones. So they're throwing their body in front of harm's way on a regular basis here. So for Edmonton, they're just going to have to really buckle down a little bit more of an effort to get those shots through to Jones, because not too many have gotten through in this third.
Here is Williams wide against Arcabello. Gagner behind the net, gets double teamed by Stoll and Brown. The puck comes free, and reaching out for it was Brizgalov, and he lost his stick. Then he makes a save up high on Brown. And the stick finally gets thrown back to him. A huge hit by Doughty on Arcabello, and Arcabello felt that. Arcabello is in trouble as he gets to the bench. Good that he can get there quickly, but he is in some pain as he got absolutely crushed by Drew Doughty. Ryan Smith will drop it back to Andrew Ference. Ference to Petrie. Petrie throws the puck around the boards. Waiting for it there is Slava Voinov. Tipped it up high against Smith. They got it to Carter. Carter wants to use the boards to get the puck out. And finally, the Kings do muscle it out. Here is Kopitar. Winds, fakes, and snaps off the glove of Brizgalov. Kopitar faked the slap shot and then snapped it. But Brizgalov got just enough of it. Kopitar turns. King onside as Kopitar moves in. Kopitar against Ference. He gets double teamed. Still has it. Trying to get it to Carter. And Carter fishes it up, plays it back to the point. There's a shot. Again. Brizgalov got the glove on it. There's another shot that whistles wide. And not happy was Slava Voinov with that shot. Hall back the other way. Leaves for Hemsky to Hall. Back up top for Nugent Hopkins. Tipped away by Richards. Here is Doughty to Mike Richards. Richards has got Toffoli. Toffoli stops. Fanned on the shot. Tied up there by Petrie. Richards throws it towards the net. It hit the side of the cage. Back to the point it comes. Jake Muzzin through traffic, and that one gets deflected wide. Toffoli out in front. It goes for Lewis. Lewis tries to jam away. Kings with pressure. Richards shot, though, is stopped before it can get through by Justin Schultz. Taylor Hall trying to go wide. Goes inside. What a move. Hall, don't drag shot. Stopped by Jones. He deked Doughty out of his stick.
Yeah, those two have had a battle over the last couple of years for sure. Doughty and Hall. It was Doughty that rocked Archibald a little earlier on, and Taylor Hall just undressed him there. Going through the 5-hole, getting a great shot on Jones, who comes up with another big save.
Over 6 minutes without a whistle. We're down to 5 minutes and 12 seconds to go in regulation time. 36 shots for the Kings, 21 for the Oilers.
Only the second shot, that one there by Taylor Hall in this third period for Edmonton on Jones, so he hasn't been tested very often, but boy, comes up with a big one there, and one that he had to react on quickly.
Every save is going to be huge now as Brown keeps it in for Williams. Williams from the corner, he gets stopped and Gagne starts away. Pushes it out to center. Green content is to dump it back in. Here is Nolan shot, he scores! Green flipped it high, and Jordan Nolan pounced on it to make it a 2-0 game.
Well, Kevin, we talk about Taylor Hall. He's really ratcheted up here, driving in, fakes wide, goes through the legs of Doughty, takes the stick with him, then walks around the sliding Muzzin and gets a real high-quality chance, but Jones denies him. And as everybody's changing here for the Edmonton Oilers, just a little flip in by Doughty. It drops right on the stick of Jordan Nolan, nobody taking him. And he gets this one away quickly. Good job by him to corral this one and beats Brizgalov on the short side, just past the pad to give the LA Kings a 2-0 lead. Brizgalov wasn't happy after that one.
Jordan Nolan's 5th goal of the year and 4th point in his last 5 games. He's got 8 points on the year, and the LA Kings get themselves a little insurance. And Matt Green gets his 3rd assist. Here is King, a shot that whistles wide. Simon Voidov keeps it in on the far side. King, checked by Brown. The Oilers with 3 minutes and 53 seconds to work with. Taylor Hall is on the ice. Hall with the puck now. He gets stopped by Richards. Larson spins. He's got Lewis all over him. Lewis strips him of the puck. Trevor Lewis goes cross ice. Doughty off the stick of Hall. Richards. He gets stopped. Here is Hall trying to poke it by Doughty. He does. Muzzin has the angle. He'll pick up the puck. Eberle on the steal. Hall. He gets backtracked by Lewis. Nugent Hopkins carries on. He'll get it to Hall. Back to the point to Petrie. Quick shot, and that went off Trevor Lewis's stick and up into the netting. It's Rogers Oilers hockey from the Staples Center here in Los Angeles. The play of the game is brought to you by Rogers, bringing fans the fastest speeds in more places. Rogers LTE.
We're going to go back to the first period, and it was the first goal of the game, and right now stands as the go-ahead goal. And it's Dwight King. I thought it was Anze Kopitar, but with the patience he shows on this play, Kevin, boy, he deserves to be on that top line. He wants to stay there with Carter and Kopitar, and if he keeps scoring goals like that, that's exactly what he's going to do. His 9th of the year made it 1-0.
And as we mentioned, that ties his career high, and it's only halfway through December. The Oilers, 3 minutes and 10 seconds. The net is empty. 6 attackers on the ice. We have seen this before. The pressure now on Gagne to win the draw. A scramble. And it is poked by Brown and out. But the Oilers are in control. And a penalty coming up as Brown knocked the stick away of Justin Schultz. Opportunity. Eberle shot. Jones the save. Perron behind the net. Hall will get it to Eberle. Eberle back to the point. Here is Schultz. Schultz down to the corner for Gagne. And the whistle goes. And it's going to be interference against the captain, Dustin Brown. As Schultz stick came loose and Brown made contact.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to like the call too much, but as he's going through, the stick of Schultz gets tangled up, and as he goes to pick it up, you'll see Brown just kind of knock it and not allow him to pick it up right there. So just a little gamesmanship by Brown, and he gets called for it, unsportsmanlike.
What a great opportunity right now for the Oilers.
Whatever you want to call it.
6 on 4. The net empty for the Oilers. Their second power play of the game. Nugent Hopkins against Mike Richards. Wins it clean. Gagne with a shot. That one's blocked. Richards pokes it out. Now, of course, the LA Kings can fire at will at the empty net. Gagne to Hall. Hall with Eberle. Stops inside the blue line. Goes cross ice. Deflected high off the glass. Controlled by Perron. David Perron. Drop pass for Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins off Regier. But he gets it back again and gives it to Perron. Perron behind the net all the way up top for Hall, who lost an edge. And the race is on between Justin Schultz and Anze Kopitar. Schultz gets there first. He'll get it to Nugent Hopkins. Quickly to Eberle. To the middle for Hemsky. He gets surrounded. Lewis gets tripped up. Play continues. A minute 57 to go. 1:10 of power play time remaining for the Oilers. This is David Perron. Checked by Muzzin. Nugent Hopkins trying to poke it back to Gagne. Instead, it's sent down the ice by Trevor Lewis.
It's amazing to me. 6 on 4 it is right now for Edmonton, but they're getting outnumbered on loose pucks and just seem to be a little too spread out entering the zone. They got to get full possession before they can strike, and they haven't been able to do that yet.
Yakupov flicks it in. He'll go after it. Doughty around the boards. Can't get it by Perron. Here's David Perron. Perron to Smith. To Hemsky. Hemsky back up top for Larson. Larson. He'll give it to Hall. Hall moving in against Lewis. Hall back up top for Yakupov. Slaps the shot. There's a loose puck in front. Hemsky with a chance. And it's stopped by Jones.
Well, the Oilers are able to finally get this one set up. Good little shot from the slot by Yakupov. Eventually working to Hemsky. Tries a sharp angle, but Jones is up to the task.
The game review is brought to you by The Brick. Nobody beats The Brick for furniture, mattresses, appliances, and big screen TVs.
Well, the guy that just closed the door right there on that attempt by Ales Hemsky. Jones trying to make history, becoming the first Los Angeles Kings goaltender to win his first 6 games as a King. The Kings defense has been unbeatable this year at times, looking for their 7th shutout of the season, and Taylor Hall's been the best Oiler on the ice in the second and third by far, with 5 scoring chances on 7 shots, and timeout being called here on the ice
by the Edmonton Oilers, and they're diagramming the play is Dallas Eakins with a minute left, a minute and 11 seconds left in regulation time. The Oilers net has been empty for a while. Dustin Brown is in the penalty box, and the Oilers have to find a way of beating Martin Jones right now. A big face-off coming up. Sam Gagne and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins are both out there with Perron, Eberle, Hall, and Justin Schultz, and it is going to be Sam Gagne who lines up against Anze Kopitar. From the face-off, scramble. Eberle digging for it. It comes free. Hall's got it. Back to Nugent-Hopkins. Nugent-Hopkins plays it back to the point. Gagne. Quick shot by Justin Schultz. There's Nugent-Hopkins hopped over his stick. Less than a minute to go in regulation time. Hall back to Gagne. Gagne. Here is Schultz. Again, his shot that is blocked. Gagne's got it back again. Fakes the slap shot. Now he'll give it to Hall. Get it back in. Snap a shot. And that was stopped by Stoll. And here's an opportunity out of the penalty box and onto the score sheet. The captain, Dustin Brown, puts it in the empty net and puts this game away.
Well, you know what? Dustin Brown should go over and give Jared Stoll just a big pat, because, boy, did he ever come up with a couple huge blocks. And, you know, he makes it look so easy, just paying the price. A 6-on-4 advantage, 2 one-time opportunities, and look at this, just acting like a goaltender, not allowing anything to go through. Boom, makes the save. Nice little dish up to Brown, who jumps out of the box. Perfect penalty killing by Stoll, and it leads to the 3-0 goal for Dustin Brown to put this one out of reach, obviously.
A penalty kill ranked 5th in the league. And for the Edmonton Oilers, a 3-0 deficit as the captain, Dustin Brown, gets his 7th goal of the season. his 400th career point. And Jarrett Stoll gets the helper. 8 assists for him. The Kings had 48 shots the last time these teams met. They have 39 shots this time. And Martin Jones, miraculous start to his career, continues his 3rd career shutout. His 6th win of the year, his 6th straight victory. The final reads, the Kings 3, the Oilers nothing. We'll be back after this.